Kobe? You can say hi?
Hello, good morning, afternoon. I thought of switching up the scenery. As you can see, it is absolutely gorgeous out here in Ohio. A little warm, but it's beautiful out. The bugs are going crazy, so I might have to speak a little bit louder. Hi. How is everyone? How are you doing? I'm doing okay. Actually, I'm doing pretty well. I had a really good Saturday morning. Very lazy, lots of coffee, watched a reality show about vintage cars, and yeah, just recovering from last night. Went to the movies and saw The Long Walk, which is exciting because I've been reading the book. I think I mentioned before, I had never really read any Stephen King, so I knew this movie was coming out, and I thought, well, I'll pick The Long Walk. Plus, I heard it was a good book, and so I went to see the movie last night. And I hadn't been to the movies in I can't even tell you how long it's been. I don't even remember the last movie I saw. It might have been Barbie, which is kind of sad. But it was nice to go, and the movie was great. It was very good. It's depressing, morbid, bleak. So I don't know I don't know if I should say I had a good time because it's not really a fun, movie, but it was very good. I thought it was I thought they did a very good job of telling the story. The book is really good. I love the book. But yeah, it was a nice night. And one thing about the movies, though, and this is why it's been so long, so I didn't know this was happening, but the advertisements before the movie starts is just, I've never experienced that before. You think that television is bad when you're watching a show. My God. You're watching a movie. I think that they might have played 50 advertisements. I maybe even more. It was like back to back to back to back. There's so many ads about, literally anything. It could have been, they were showing ads about diabetes, which I guess, showing that in a movie theater isn't the worst spot, but I just found that so crazy. I didn't realize how bad it's gotten. So that was strange. But other than that, it was really fun. And now it's Saturday. It's gorgeous. Kopi's staring at me. You want to come here? Come here. Say hi. Come here. Up, up. Up, up. Oh, you can do it. Go. Say hi. He's being a brat. He's being shy. He's camera shy. But yeah, we're enjoying ourselves, and it's gonna start getting cold here soon. So I thought, well, I want to make a video, and why not do it outside? Plus, the office is a little kind of dark and stuffy, so anywho, what's new with everybody? What's going on? How's life? How was the week? It went by fast for me. Still running, struggling a little bit, but still running. Um, I've got, I believe, 19 more days till the half marathon, and cutting it close, but I'm going to still try and do it. Hopefully I'm going to, really work hard and try not to skip a run and just do it. It's weird. Like I do feel that I've gotten better. Like I feel good when I run now, other than it being hot as hell. But that's my own fault because I wake up too late, and so I'm out running by 11, and by that time it's just miserable. But I'm doing it, so you just gotta push through the pain. I was curious after watching the movie and reading the book, which in the book The Long Walk, they have to stay at a 4-mile-per-hour pace, and they're not allowed to stop. They get 3 warnings if they go underneath 4 miles, or well, in the book 4 miles. In the movie, it's 3 miles. And I was curious. I was like, I wonder if anyone could actually do this. The 4 miles per hour is insane. I don't think normal, because in the movie it's just young boys. I just don't think that's possible. Now, of course, you're only supposed to have one winner, so you can't make it too easy. Then it'll just go on and on. But I can't imagine someone being able to do that without sleeping, without stopping. No, it's a lot. So it's interesting. Yeah, I wonder if anyone can do it. And I was looking up online. I was like, oh, has anyone done anything crazy like this? And I found a woman. I forget her name, but she swam from Florida to Cuba. No stopping. That's nuts. How do people... Swimming is a whole different thing. I can swim, but I am so out of shape when it comes to swimming. I could probably tread water. I mean, if my life depended on it, you can obviously tread it much longer, but I'm not the greatest swimmer. I'm a good swimmer, but I die like that. I'd probably be the first one to go. Running or walking, I can walk. I'm a good walker. I can walk for, I don't know. They walk for 3 days. I don't know about 3 days. I always laugh because my mom, we did St. Jude's. Charity does this walk-a-thon, whatever you want to call it, to raise money for St. Jude's, the children's hospital. And my mom and I did it one year, and it was in the mall. So you walk in the mall. I forget how far it was. It might have been a 5K or something, but you walk it. And you got all these older women with their tennis shoes, the mall walkers, probably who do this all the time. And my mom, who is she's little, she was ready to go. And she was ahead of everyone the entire time. She led the pack. And she ended up winning. It wasn't a contest, but she ended up winning the walk. And we crack up all the time about it because you just got to see her. So little, moving her legs. It's like, we're just walking the mall. This isn't a race, Mom, but it was cute. But she won. You know what? She deserves it. She didn't get anything for it. But it's funny. Yeah, walking, running, being outside in the quiet with the birds and the bugs. It's really nice. It's relaxing. It's so relaxing. The one thing I can't do though is run without any headphones. I don't know how they do it. I feel like they're a little psychotic doing that. Eventually I want to get there, but I need something for my brain to focus on while I'm running, while I'm dying. So I'm not there yet, but I might try maybe if I'm doing just something short, 2 miles or 3 miles, I might try it. On my run the other day, and this is the problem with me, I get easily distracted. On my run, on the side of the trail, there were multiple dead animals. And not to be kind of a freak, but I always feel bad for them because people ride their bikes on the trails. I've already told you how I feel about bikers on the trails, but they're allowed to be there. And I always think, they're going to get run over. They're already dead. But, I think they deserve a little bit of respect. They probably are dead because they were hit by a biker or a runner. Maybe someone stepped on them. And I yesterday ran into many dead animals on the trail. It was crazy. And one of them, I believe, was a mole. It was like this big. And it at first I thought it was a mouse, like a baby mouse, but when I got close to it, it wasn't. It looked like a mole, which I've never really seen a mole. It was the cutest little thing. It was a baby. It had to have been a baby. It was so cute. And I follow this woman. Her name's Amanda on Instagram. I may have talked about her before, but she if she sees a dead animal on the side of the road, she will pick it up. Coyotes, birds, snakes, squirrels, anything that she can safely get to, she'll take it, bring it to an area where there are no cars, and make like a little shrine for them. Look, this is the type of stuff that I like. So I've been following her for a long time, and I love that she does it. It's just like a moment to respect the animal, and it's so sad. So she will pick it up. I think she must keep some kind of tarp or something, or gloves with her, because she's moving, like I said, coyotes, deer. She'll move anything as long as it's safe for her to get out of the car and move it. And she makes like this beautiful shrine of flowers and leaves and stuff. And she posts them on Instagram, and it's actually really cool what she does. And she's gotten a few articles written about her. She's really cool. And so I always wanted to kind of do that, but I love animals so much, but I'm afraid to like, the main thing is I'm afraid to pick it up and it's like head rolls off. I don't want to be traumatized, so, but with these little babies, I found a mole, and I didn't have anything on me to move it, but I found a couple leaves and picked it up, and then I put it on the side and covered it. It was so sweet. And then not a minute later, there was a bullfrog. This poor bullfrog that must have been run over on the trail. And he was big. But I thought, okay, normally I wouldn't do this because I'm just so weird about picking them up. But I kind of got over that fear, and I thought, no, you just helped the little mole. Now, help the frog. So I did the same thing. I got a big ass leaf, picked it up, and put them on the side. And so they won't be run over again. It's the little things. It's the little things we can do to show some kind of respect for the animals, I don't know if I see a coyote or something. I'm not sure I'm quite ready to do that. I'd love to. But you also have to be careful because, you have to make sure that you're not going to get run over. There was a really sad story about a guy, an older man, who stopped his car to get a turtle. And the turtle was alive, and they both got hit and died. So, you got to be careful. But so that's kind of my new thing. And a bird last week or so flew. I don't know if it flew into the window. I'm guessing that it did, which is really sad. And you feel so bad for him. But it was dead on the roof. I could see it. So I grabbed it. This little baby, and it's so little. And I put it in the woods behind me. And yeah, just a little sign of respect. Especially because it's our fault. They're running into windows that, because they can't tell. You just feel bad. That's what I'm on a tangent about dead animals. I promise that I'm not that morbid, but I've come to this kind of philosophy and understanding and connection with nature that I've had before, but it's just way stronger now. I think especially because, not to get too into it, but especially because of the constant, just slop and AI and social media and technology and phones and computers and all that. There's something about, like, besides me talking on this phone right now, but there's something about just taking a moment and remembering that, we're not the only ones on this planet. And that, we're all supposed to really live and thrive together. There's banana trees out in the back. I'll show you in a little bit, but they're really starting to not do so well. And it didn't occur to me that, well, they kind of need watered, and it's been so hot in Ohio. It hasn't rained in 2 weeks. They need water. They're living things. They need your help. You put them there, me, not you, me. And I'm happy to do it. It's fun. But yeah, there's definitely, for me, and I'm sure other people can relate, it's kind of nice to get away from all the just suffering and turmoil and violence and gaslighting and just cruelty that comes on the internet. It comes from the internet and just people just kind of being shitty in general. It's kind of nice to let that go for a little bit. And it's hard not to be a part of it. Well, I'm not a part of it in the sense of, like, I'm being cruel online, but I am a part of it. I do have social media. I do use it. And in some ways I'm captured by it at times. I try to use social media as something that's beneficial. I love watching people's art. I love art, meaning maybe their photographs or listening to their music or watching their really cool videos about them talking the way that I'm talking right now. Or I like to watch historical things, or I watch debates. I kind of try to keep it somewhat educational. And sometimes I just want to watch something shitty. I don't care. Like, I watch 90 Day Fiance. I don't watch it to get smarter. I watch it because sometimes you want to turn your brain off and just not think. But yeah, it's nice to kind of slow down a little bit. And I've been doing that now in school with my drawing class. With drawing, I'm not on a computer. I'm not even reading, which I think is a good thing people should do. I'm just using my hands and drawing and just using my brain in a different way. Different than I do playing guitar or singing. It's different. It's a different muscle that I'm working when it comes to focusing on my drawing. And it's funny, my class, I have it 2 days a week, and it's 2.5 hours long. Yeah. Actually, no, it's almost 3 hours. But and in the class, we're actually drawing. And it's been a little stressful for me at first because I'm such a perfectionist. I'm someone who has to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, I quit. So with this class, I've been very tense. And my professor, every time she comes near me, she's like, breathe. And I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I should start breathing a little bit. And I'm glad she does that because it just reminds me it's okay. It's not that serious. Just breathe and let your hand move and don't really even think. Just draw. And this is going to be the third week, and I'm already feeling a little bit more confident in my drawing ability. I've never taken an art class before. I've painted. I've taken a ceramics class with my grandma. I've painted for fun, but I've never taken a class, so I've never really learned just like the basic fundamentals of drawing. So it's fun. It's exciting, to learn something new. But all of that kind of ties into just like relaxing a little bit. For me, my brain is just constantly going, constantly moving. It's a lot. And running does that as well. You're kind of too focused on one, your body and your breathing, or two, whatever I'm listening to, which is usually a podcast or a debate. And so you don't really I'm not really thinking about what's going on in my life or, any issues or whatever, anything. I'm not really thinking about it, which is nice because I'm constantly thinking about it and, every day. So yeah, there's something to this nature bit, isn't there? There's something to it. Who knew? Except almost every writer, philosopher who was telling us this. Sometimes the simplest answer is the answer. Do you want to not be stressed? Go take a walk. It's not really rocket science. It's a suggestion for a reason, So I have learned that taking a walk, or especially with Copeland, it does relieve that stress. It's nice. And I think it's important. It's important for everyone. So, yeah. I've just been thinking about how to stay in the moment, more. Especially when I found that bird, it's just like such a reminder. It's like, geez, any moment something can change. And you forget that you're not really realizing time is passing you by until you look back and you think, oh shit, 36. When you're living your life, and not every day has to be profound or exciting, but when you're living your life, you're just living it. And it's not until later where you're like, damn, I wish I would have used my time a little more. I wish I would have used my time for things that I really, truly cared about. And you can still do that. That's the cool thing. All of that still can happen. My life can still be that way. And I'm living it. much more than I was the last couple of years. I still have work to do, and I still have to remind myself, but I am living it. So, anywho, I wasn't sure what I was going to say today. I thought, I don't know, being outside, it's really nice. Clears your head, gets things going. Cope's barking. I'm going to show you the banana trees. And I'm going to let it go after that. And I will see you again. We'll talk later. Yeah, they're not looking so good. That's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, right? A little water, that'll help. But look at these right here. They're pretty. Hi. Doing their thing. Hi. Good job. Seeing the bees out here, I think it's so cool. It makes me happy that they have like a spot that they can pollinate and I need a better camera. And it's so cool how the flowers just reach towards the sun. I love that. Anywho, thanks for listening to me rant. And I'll be back again. We'll talk soon. Bye.